It doesn't matter how big or small my question might be. I know that there's going to be somebody there that can help guide me in the right direction. You're not just an account number to them. You're a person, and it feels like that. I'm a member.
Spring is here and the rebates are huge with Valley Home Services. With the quiet and efficient Fujitsu Airstage units, there's never been a better time to buy. And with efficiency main rebates up to $9,500. Plus, Valley Home is offering an additional promotional discount of $750 per system until May 31st. Best of all, everyone qualifies for a rebate even if you've received one before. Spring into home comfort and incredible rebates with Valley Home Services.
You come to a credit union to work because you actually like helping people.
You get to be a part of really life-changing moments.
It builds a really rewarding professional career.
And that's why I like credit unions.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC7 News at Noon.
The Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against the state of Maine over license plates. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. A judge denied a post-conviction review yesterday for a man convicted of manslaughter in the death of his infant son. And Northern Light Health is expanding their cancer care capabilities thanks to a major donation. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Thursday afternoon. We have a couple gale watches that's actually in effect. The first one will expire at 11 a.m. Saturday. As I pull the map further down toward the south, there's another one that's up until 8 p.m. Saturday as well. So we have a couple periods that we are going to be watching for some higher surf as we do push forward. Now rain showers are passing through today, so we are going to be watching for that with this area low pressure that continues to rotate through at this moment in time. Let's zoom things out. There's that area low pressure right there that slowly continues to rotate. We are going to see the rain for the most part back off. Maybe a rogue shower still possible, but overall mostly cloudy and breezy coming up later on tonight. As Futurecast indicates, maybe a rogue shower or a sprinkle, but the rain picks back up as we head towards your Friday. Now some gusty winds reaching up to about 20 to even 25 miles per hour today, and the wind slowly backing off overnight. But then once we head towards tomorrow, the wind's not overall bad. Maybe a quick gust up to 15 miles per hour. For today, mostly cloudy. We got the rain showers, lower 60s for the high, and that north wind at about 30 miles per hour tops. Your hourly forecast, here we go. We got the clouds, we got the rain showers, temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. The Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against Maine and 3 other states. A statement says they are challenging their policies denied on unmarked license plates against federal agents. A statement from the department says the lawsuits come after each state refused to rescind what it says, quote, unconstitutional policies in response to a prompt letter from the department explaining the policy's illegality. In the statement, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says, quote, law enforcement officers risk their lives every day to keep Americans safe and must be able to carry out their duties effectively. By denying undercover license plates to DHS components such as ICE, while issuing them to their own state agencies, these governors are pursuing discriminatory and obstructionist policies against federal law enforcement. The nurses' strike at Holton Regional Hospital is stretching into a third day. They say they are protesting management's refusal to address their concerns about emergency department staffing and the impact on patient care. The nurses have been negotiating a contract for over a year and a half. Holton Regional Hospital has released a statement. Management says, quote, we are extremely disappointed with this action by the nurses and their union. This decision comes after mutual agreement to utilize mediation to support contract resolution. A mediator has been assigned, and the initial discussions with representatives of both HRH and the union began last week, end quote. The statement says the nurses were offered a 21% pay increase over the duration of a 3-year contract, as well as benefit enhancements. It says the hospital will remain open and provide care for patients during the 4-day strike. Northern Light Health is expanding its cancer care capabilities thanks to a major donation from a Brewer resident. Our Alex Schley tells us how officials say the donation will help expand care and bring advanced treatment options closer to home.
Wednesday, Northern Light Health announced a major donation that will establish a brand new center dedicated to cancer care. Brewer resident Jim Giro has donated $10 million to establish the Jim and Kathy Giro Center for Genomic and Advanced Therapies for Northern Light Cancer Care at the Lafayette Family Center Institute in Brewer.
Building on the genomic research led by Dr. Sarah Sinclair, the Medical Director of Research and Medical Oncology for Northern Light Cancer Care at Eastern Maine Medical Center, the establishment of this center represents a transformational leap forward in access to clinical trials and advanced cancer treatments for Mainers.
The donation honors Jim Giro's late wife, Kathy, who passed away from cancer in 2022 after receiving treatment at the facility in Brewer.
His wife, Kathy, was treated for cancer historically, and he's establishing the Jim and Kathy Center for Genomics and Advanced Therapy in honor of, in memory of his wife.
Doctors say cancer care is rarely one size fits all, and that genomic medicine allows clinicians to better target treatments based on the unique biology of each patient.
And when we talk about genomic medicine, what it means is that we are studying the biology of the tumor, looking at specific mutations within the tumor so that we can learn more about the tumor and what targeted therapies may be most appropriate and most effective for the patient.
Officials say they expect the center will be up and running by the end of the year, expanding access to advanced care and keeping more patients closer to home for treatment. In Brewer, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A judge denied a post-conviction review yesterday for a man convicted of manslaughter in the death of his infant son. Reginald Melvin of Milo pleaded guilty in August 2023 to domestic violence manslaughter for the death of his 1-month-old son, Silas Melvin. At the time of the incident back in August of 2021, doctors advised police that when Silas arrived at the hospital, the child had severe injuries to his skull and ribs, as well as facial trauma. Reginald Melvin was sentenced to 30 years with all but 25 suspended and conditional probation for 6 years. The judge denied a motion for post-conviction review in a hearing in Piscataquis County. The Penobscot County jury has indicted a man on attempted murder charges. Bangor police arrested 35-year-old Jeremy Trudeau at a building on Summer Street in March after multiple people reported a man was inside with a knife threatening to kill people. One person told police she had a protection order against Trudeau and she found him waiting for her outside of the building. Multiple witnesses said they saw Trudeau chase the woman into the building while she was screaming for help. Witnesses also reported they saw Trudeau cause damage to the door after the woman barricaded herself inside. In addition to the attempted murder charge, the grand jury also indicted Trudeau on other charges, including domestic violence, criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon, and terrorizing with a dangerous weapon. Fire investigators say that a blaze that damaged a business in Wilton was accidental. It was just before 7 o'clock Sunday night when fire erupted in the Chaos Coffee Cafe on Main Street. The fire caused extensive damage to the business and extensive smoke and water damage to the rest of it. A female tenant who was living on the second floor was treated for smoke inhalation and was later released. Investigators say the fire appears to have started at a coffee roaster in the cafe's kitchen. A fire along a road in Newburgh Wednesday afternoon is prompting officials to remind folks to use caution when disposing of lithium batteries. Just after 12 o'clock, a trash truck driver says he noticed smoke coming from the back of his truck. The driver then dumped the load along the Murray Road, a move fire officials say likely prevented a much more serious situation. However, once the trash was exposed to oxygen, crews say the fire quickly grew. Firefighters from Newburgh, Carmel, and Etna responded to the scene. Officials say a lithium battery is likely the cause of that fire.
Uncommon? Not really, especially when you get into things in modern homes, especially like lithium-ion batteries. All it takes, even a fully discharged battery like that, is not fully discharged. There could be some stuff left in there, and all it takes is something crushing that. It can create its own heat, its own oxygen, and it can create its own fire. 1,500 degrees like that.
Fire officials say they were able to quickly get the fire under control. An excavator was later brought in to help sift through all the material. The group behind a referendum question to block transgender student athletes in Maine is taking its fight to court. The Secretary of State's office decided to keep the question off the ballot because of petition signatures that were deemed invalid. The Protect Girls Sports in Maine committee disagrees with that decision and says the courts, not the Secretary, should have the final word on this important matter. Supporters say no matter how that appeal goes, the question will eventually end up in the hands of Maine voters in 2026 or 2027. More than $5 million in grants is being awarded to towns and cities in Maine. The money will be used for community projects to help improve resilience in the face of severe winter storms and to reduce the cost to taxpayers through energy efficiency upgrades. The grants are through the state's Community Resilience Partnership Program created in 2021. Grantees in this round include the city of Calais, which is getting $75,000 to upgrade sidewalk fixtures that will last longer and use less energy. The Holton Band of Maliseet Indians is getting almost $75,000 to replace oil furnaces with more energy efficient and less polluting heat pumps. And Monhegan Island is also getting $75,000 to develop engineering plans to raise and rebuild their town wharf, which is the sole access point for boats and ferries. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, we'll have the latest on what's happening with the war in Iran and how it's impacting things here in the U.S. We'll be right back.
People ask me all the time, are those commercials really true? Does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. We really have gotten millions of dollars for Mainers hurt by commercial vehicles. And the insurance companies know when you call the twos, we're going to fight for you. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Bar Harbor, is brought to you by First National Bank, with locations throughout Maine, your Maine community bank. Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 30 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. Spruce & Gussie in Bar Harbor offers products curated for both beauty and function, blending Maine practicality with playful irreverence.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
From the heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship, Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Iran and the U.S. have traded another round of back-and-forth strikes. Both countries accuse the other of violating the ceasefire, putting the spotlight on the temporary truce and any further negotiations. As ABC's Christiane Cordero reports, the economic impact in the U.S. is expanding.
Today, new airstrikes across the Middle East are agitating the tension between the U.S. and Iran yet again. U.S. Central Command says Kuwait's air defense systems successfully intercepted an Iranian-launched ballistic missile late last night. Officials say the attack followed an escalation near the Strait of Hormuz. One U.S. official tells ABC News Iran was preparing to launch drones, but that U.S. forces shot them down, perceiving them as a threat. Now both the U.S. and Iran accuse the other of violating the ceasefire, though neither have made clear the ceasefire is officially over.
The issue here is if it does go back to a full-scale war, then there'll be no mitigation.
Just days ago, the administration suggested a short-term deal was largely sorted out. The optimism nudged oil prices down temporarily, but they're now creeping back up. According to GasBuddy, the average price of regular gas in the U.S. is about $1.50 more per gallon than when the war began. And today, the Federal Reserve's favorite inflation gauge shows a 3.8% rise in prices compared to 1 year ago. A broader inflation report is expected next month. Some of the president's allies insist the administration is working to address the rising costs.
It's a big priority, and I know the president's clearly focused on it.
But when ABC's Rachel Scott asked the president about inflation, he said he's primarily focused on one thing.
Gas prices that are still high across the country, people are paying more for travel. Does that give you more urgency to make a deal? Why doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, the primary urgency, I said this, it wasn't covered properly, but the primary urgency is that we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Iran has recently announced a new process for tolling ships in the Strait of Hormuz, something the administration is strongly against. And today, the Treasury Department sanctioned the entity Iran created to manage and charge such tolls. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
5 villagers trapped in a flooded cave in Laos for over a week have been found alive as crews search for others still missing. Rescuers discovered the men huddled on a rock surrounded by floodwaters on Wednesday. They posted video of the moment divers who navigated the tunnel system found the men and said, "Are you all safe? We will help you." The search continues for 2 others missing from the group. The villagers entered the cave in a province in central Laos on May 19th, but heavy rain triggered the flash flooding that blocked the exit. Another villager who was with them managed to escape and alert authorities. And crews resumed the search for 9 people presumed killed after a Washington state paper mill chemical tank ruptured. ABC's Melissa Adan has the latest.
This is a tight-knit community here in Longview, Washington, made up of several industrial plants and factories. Many community members sharing that you're hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't know someone who works here or is directly impacted by this massive tragedy. At least 2 people have been confirmed killed by that chemical tank that ruptured on Tuesday. And now the recovery efforts are still underway for the 9 workers who are unaccounted for. Officials, of course, sharing how it has been a very difficult and challenging process in being able to recover those workers. They say that they started out with that tank being filled 90,000 gallons of this chemical liquid. They've been able to drain it. It's down now to 25,000 gallons, and they've been able to stabilize it. All of this now as there are major concerns on what went wrong here. A federal investigation has now been opened. The EPA is on site here. They're also testing the local air and water quality here. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Longview, Washington.
Republican gubernatorial candidate Jonathan Bush announced leadership for his campaign by naming his via Zoom. Bush announced he'll have a chairperson for each of Maine's 16 counties. His picks include former state lawmakers and a lobsterman. Bush says these county chair people will be lining up folks for him to meet with and to hear from to gain perspective, as well as something as simple as putting out lawn signs.
I've been involved in a lot of grassroots efforts over the years. And what's obvious this time and this year is that the grassroots effort is interested in turning our economy around. And Jonathan is the person to do that.
Jonathan is the right person because we need his sophisticated leadership in business to help us remove some of these bureaucratic strangles that we're having. Growth is stopping in Maine.
Once again, the Maine primary election is on June 9th. After the break, some popular items are causing a spike in pretty serious injuries. We've got details when we return.
It doesn't matter how big or small my question might be. I know that there's going to be somebody there that can help guide me in the right direction. You're not just an account number to them. You're a person, and it feels like that. I'm a member.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle wreck, call 855-IRON LAW today. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. We protect our own.
Lights, camera, cheese! The Cheese House is looking for its next star, and it could be you. If you're 21 or older, enter for your chance to appear in the next commercial. Stop by the Cheese House at 5 Pike Drive in Fairfield to enter. While you're there, browse their huge selection of glassware and 420 specialty foods. But we have the cheese! Remember, entries are happening in person at the Cheese House, 5 Pike Drive in Fairfield. Bring your personality, bring your smile, and we have the cheese.
Spring is the ideal time to service your heat pump and protect your investment. At Omega Property Management, our professional heat pump cleaning removes built-up dust and debris that can reduce efficiency and drive up energy costs. A clean system doesn't just perform better, it uses less energy, helping lower your monthly electric bills and often paying for itself over time. Improve performance, extend the life of your system, and keep your home comfortable all season long. Efficient systems, smarter savings. Call us at 270-3294 to schedule your appointment today.
Let's kick it. The I Love the 90s tour is back, featuring Vanilla Ice, Montel Jordan, Tone Loc, so be my queen if you know what I mean. Let's do the wild ride. Color Me Bad, and Young MC. It's the return of the I Love the 90s tour, Friday, May 29th, Cross Insurance Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or the Cross Insurance Center box office. I Love the 90s tour live.
You come to a credit union to work because you actually like helping people.
You get to be a part of really life-changing moments.
It builds a really rewarding professional career.
And that's why I like credit unions.
E-bike and scooter crashes is causing a growing number of traumatic brain and spinal injuries. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more.
Electric scooters and bikes are becoming a common way to get around, especially in cities. But a recent study from the journal Neurosurgery suggests these devices are leading to a rise in serious brain and spine trauma, and almost 50% of those injured needed surgery. Only about a third of urban riders wore a helmet, and nearly 1 in 5 were operating under the influence of alcohol. So how can e-commuters stay safe? Avoid distractions like riding while scrolling on a phone. Wear a helmet, use protected bike lanes, and don't use while intoxicated. Injuries tend to happen more often in the evening hours, especially between 6 and 8 p.m., so use extra caution during that time. Remember, when you're on electric wheels, don't rush. Slow and steady keeps you safe. With this Medical Minute, I'm Jacqueline Lee.
AT&T awarded the Augusta Teen Center $10,000, which will finance a new technology program as a part of their nationwide plan to address the digital divide through access to the internet. AT&T's funding is supporting the Teen Center's computer program. It's a hands-on digital literacy initiative where students build 3 computers. One goes to the Teen Center, another goes to an outside source, and the third is for the students to keep. External Affairs Director for AT&T in Maine, Ryan Clark, says it's more important than ever for students in underserved areas to have access to the internet.
Making sure that these students are staying involved and staying engaged is so important. The fact that they're actually building the computers is really cool. It gives them some ownership and some understanding of how the technology works as well. So it's a really unique program that the Augusta Teen Center is holding for them.
AT&T says the company is committing $5 million to help 25 million people connect to high-speed internet by 2030. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stairlift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away. It even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it cost.
Call 1-800-732-2971 right now for your free information kit or visit our website today. That's 1-800-732-2971.
I'm Jordan Wood. Everywhere I go, Mainers tell me they've had enough. Tired of higher costs, exhausted by endless wars, and worn out by corporate greed. Washington is failing us. It's time for a new generation to fight Trump and the billionaires. I've already taken on election deniers and won. I'll never take a dime from corporate PACs or lobbyists. I'm Jordan Wood, and I approve this message because I'll fight corruption, defend our democracy, and finally pass Medicare for all.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. We actually have a couple gale watches that are in effect. The first one will expire at around 11 a.m. for your Saturday. As I pull the map farther down toward the south, notice another one queues up before a different time period until 8 p.m. Saturday as well. So there's a couple periods that we are going to be watching for some higher surf. We'll keep an eye out for what these get upgraded to as we do push forward. But for now, the wave heights are not too bad at around a couple feet according to the buoys, but farther out towards sea at around 3 to 6 feet, again, according to the buoys farther out towards sea. But meanwhile, on land, we got this area of low pressure. I'll actually stand over here. It gives us a better look. That continues to rotate right now, slowly but surely. It's bringing moisture in here with some rain showers. So these rain showers for now continue to move in. No lightning. The lightning tracker stays on. In fact, it always stays on. But for now, no lightning showing up at this moment in time. As we do zoom things out, again, that's the area low pressure right there. Some other areas seeing some rain showers and a few rumbles of thunder as well. But again, for us, we'll see things back off briefly overnight. You might notice a sprinkle or a light shower overnight, but again, overall, a mostly cloudy sky, a little breezy overnight, but it's not going to be anything too bad. Now, notice the rain showers do pick back up as we head towards your Friday. Overall, it's not going to be the worst, but once we head towards Friday evening, notice some rain's going to try to move in. It'll have a hard time, but you kind of draw a line. It may get close to Bangor with the clouds, but again, most of it's going to stay west. But once we head towards Saturday, that gets out of here as well. Gusty winds up to 20, maybe 30 miles per hour today. By tonight, the winds will start to decrease. And then by Friday as well, the winds won't be too bad. Lower 60s today, mostly cloudy, rain showers, and that north wind at about 30 miles per hour tops. By tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy, maybe a sprinkle or a light shower. Lower 40s for the overnight low, and that north wind at about 25 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, Friday, lower 60s for the high, mostly cloudy, some more rain showers possible. North wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast for your Saturday. Mostly cloudy, highs in the mid 50s. Rain showers return Sunday with highs in the upper 60s, and then mid 60s for your Monday with a chance for rain showers.
Thank you, Devin. This next student earned his degree by being a very good boy. It's Liam, a beloved service dog who just got his honorary degree at the University of Hawaii. Liam is a service dog for the assistant nursing professor, Tracy Thornett. For the last 2 years, he's attended every lecture, lab, off-campus event, and clinical rotation with her, becoming a constant figure on campus.
But for the vast majority of people, when they see him, they're like smiling and they think he's so cute. And like he creates a constant bubble of positivity around me.
During the nursing pinning ceremony earlier this month, the school honored Liam with his own custom graduation sash, making him an honorary member of the class of 2026. And a World War II veteran in Georgia turned 107. Cobb County commissioners honored Charlie Duncan Tuesday, the day before Duncan's birthday. It was 82 years ago, Duncan's 25th birthday, that he was sworn into the Army. County commissioners declared Wednesday to be Charlie Duncan Day.
It's really amazing how many people come over and talk to him and take time out of their lives to say something to him and to come see him.
Why do you think they do it?
Because I'm so old.
Duncan says the secret to his longevity is staying active over the years. He's worked out and done water aerobics as well as square dancing. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. Hurt in a car accident, I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
Spin the wheel, the letters call. One right guess could win it all. Wheel of Fortune, laughter, fun, weeknights at 7. Join everyone. On ABC 7, watch and play. Wheel of Fortune's here each weekday. I'm Rick from Brewer, and I'm a wheel watcher.
You're watching ABC.